Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Now, shall we take a look at our next project? Window tinting. 2 windows. This window. I'm going to tint with an anti-glare protection because my computer monitor is, well, it's behind that big mountain of movies there. And I would like to have that blind up. If not constantly, then regularly. And I don't want UV rays beating down and cooking the monitor from the back. This one here, well, this one's going to be a bit of a blend, as will be other windows. The part that opens, tint for privacy. Part above it, and possibly the entirety of this window, will be frosted for privacy. So I'll still have the light come in when I open up, but the privacy tinting, the dark tinting, is daytime privacy. So if I want to raise those blinds, crack open a window, I got no issues there. Kitties like to look out the window too. I've got other windows I'm going to do. You have these 2 windows here. This one pretty much the same, except the opening aspect runs the full width, so that will get the daytime privacy black film. The area above will get the frosted look, and same thing here. Bottom will get dark tint, area above will get frosted. This allows me the, I think, best blend of privacy and light entry that I could possibly get under the circumstances. So one more that we're going to do, well, one more in this room anyway, this window here, which covers a huge area here behind my entertainment center for whenever I get the darn thing set up. That is also going to be an anti-glare tinting, not so much for privacy, but so that the back of the entertainment center cannot be seen through the window from the outside, and morning sun doesn't come through and bake through there. And it will darken it too, and it'll just make it a generally better appearance. You'll still be able to see from the outside if my interior lights are on. This part of things will still glow around that, but overall it'll make for a much better appearance. I had a very similar setup in my old RV, and it worked just fine. I think that window was wider and taller than this one because it didn't have the cabinetry up above. Still toying with the idea of replacing this window and doing away with the frosted glass and going with one that's got not only tint, but a built-in blind that goes either up or down depending on which vertical way you install it. I'm toying with that. Now the only downside of that is you can't really get to it with the door closed because of the screen. So you have to open the door, separate the screen from the door, adjust, and then close things back. Not a big deal, but access is still limited. Yeah, and they even make ones that I think that'll open up as well, so that's also something I would be considering, but that one is not a high priority. Got other windows in my bedroom, 2 of them, that I'm toying with different ideas as far as how I'm going to tint those. One behind my headboard for sure. That'll be an upcoming project I'll explain when the time comes. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing next. So to get started here, I'm going to have to remove the mountain off the desk, and then the desk is going to have to slide out over this way so that I can access that window. Chances are I can probably tint this one without having to move anything else. This shelving unit for my movies obviously is not deep. It's only basically the depth of a movie case, DVD case, Blu-ray case, whatever. So that one should be easy as long as I'm not having problems accessing. I won't have to move that at all. So we'll get this all out of the way. We'll get that one done. We'll get this one done. Move everything back, and then we will progress from there. Yay! Hi to Sugar. Hello, Sugar. Hi, everybody. Guess what? Be a little. Oop, there we go. Zoom back out. That's a little better. We make progress. Update to the window tinting project. Hopefully my audio is better. We've had issues lately. I'm using my lapel mic for this half of it. So where are we at? Well, as previously stated, this window got anti-glare tinting. So sunlight doesn't bake down on me or my computer monitor or my desk during the day, but I still have access to see out into the world. Bonus points because I have the tower portion of the kitty's catio right out there, so I can see them from the desk. This was a little bit interesting. So what we have here, top half is a mix of privacy frosted, so allows the light in, but you can't see in or out. And then the bottom is strictly daytime privacy, so I can see out. Nobody can see in the daytime, but if I put enough light on the inside, it's visible. Now, I don't usually have a whole lot of light going on in here, so as far as access or visibility from outside, it's pretty limited. But this was a bit of a quandary for me because I knew what I wanted to do here. This is the effect I wanted to achieve. This one was a little tough because I didn't want to go frosted top to bottom. I wanted to have visibility all the way across. I didn't want to restrict my line of sight. So I decided to split it in line along here. From the inside, it looks pretty decent. From the outside, I wish I had taken the black tint and gone up to this level here because from outside after dark, this would look a little bit more even. So inside, this looks fine and probably looks better this way. From the outside, it'd be just the opposite. Side note, this frosted tinting operates completely different from the daytime privacy or the anti-glare stuff. It's a different material, and it's a nightmare to install. And you're probably not going to be able to see it. It's not going to pick up too well, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a zoom in look here, but you can see it as an example. And that's the second one. So this is the best window to come out. Then I had that one. I'll tell you a little story in a second. Into the living room we go. So there's the other two windows. Frosted, daytime privacy. Frosted, daytime privacy. This window here, decent. There's a couple of small bubbles I couldn't get out. This one here was a nightmare, particularly in this corner here, but there's all kinds of blotchiness going on. So when you do the anti-glare and the daytime privacy, it's very clearly a vinyl sheet with a paper backing. You measure, you cut, you spray a solution on the clean glass, you slap it on, you spray the your side of the tint with the same solution, you squeegee it in place, you trim as necessary. Okay, great. Open up the box for this stuff to make use of it, and I see the brief instructions on the box, and it says the same thing. Hey, cut, measure, peel the paper off. Like, there's no paper. There's no paper backing on this. Like, I got 3 boxes of this stuff, and it's got no backing on it. It's like, all right, well, screw it. It's got one really smooth side and one really roughish side. I'm going to assume the smooth side goes against the glass. I spray the solution, I slap it on, I get on there. Okay, great, no problem. Within hours of peeling, the next day, one whole side just peeled off almost completely. I'm like, what the hell? So I reapply. Okay, good. Lasts a little bit longer, but it starts peeling off. I sit down, I look online, I can't find anything. I go to write a courteous nasty gram of confusion to the manufacturer. Why did I get a defective batch? It's got no backing paper on it at all. I type the whole thing out. Right before submitting, you know what? I'm going to pull one of these boxes back out. I'm going to take a look real quick, because they always put the instruction sheets, not manual, just a sheet. They roll it up into the window film. They don't do it at the end of the film where you get the best access to it pulling it out. No, you have to unroll the whole thing to get to it. So I do that. Now, mind you, because it didn't have a backing paper, by the way, and living with kitties, laying this stuff on the floor under even the best of cleanliness circumstances, you're not avoiding it. And this stuff here, the static cling to it, it just sucked up every bit of kitty fur or whatever to it. It was impossible to wipe off. So I got little embedded kitty furs here and there too. Anyway, I digress. So I start reading the instructions, and I find out that the smooth side is the backing, but it's a plastic backing in this case. So they say, okay, take 2 pieces. Now we have detailed instructions in there on the box. Take 2 pieces of tape, slap one each side in the corner, facing each other, grab each one, and yank it apart to start the corner peeling. Like, oh, be damn. Okay, we'll delete that email. Great. So anyway, I have the 2 pieces from the first window I just showed, because this right here is where I started, right? So I peel one off, I get the tape on there, start peeling it off, I spray my solution, I do the thing, okay, starts going on. But this stuff here is sticky unto itself. It's not a static cling situation like the vinyl ones are. This stuff sticks, and if you're not really careful, if it curls up on itself, it will stick to itself, and it's a nightmare to get off. So all that blotchiness, I think, is a result of the adhesive either sticking to the glass wrong, or when I peeled it off, sticking to itself wrong. And I was never able to get it all ironed out. This one, with having the practice of this one went a lot smoother, right? Where we ran into complications here, it was just the general size. You get it all cut, dialed in pretty darn close. You start spraying, you place, you peel, and you try to work it, and oh, well, I don't have it quite straight. Well, because that stuff actually sticks to the glass, whether the solution's there or not. Getting it back off, unless your glass is constantly saturated, is a bit of a chore. And for whatever reason, by the time I got here, I don't know exactly what happened, but I can't get this top corner to stick to save my life. And it's more visible from outside with the lights on, so I'm not happy about that. But got it, moved on. I overestimated how much I'd end up needing, so I probably have a whole extra box of this stuff, so I might revisit sometime in the future when things settle down. This window here and the window opposite my computer were nightmares, because these screens being on the inside, incredibly difficult to remove. I played with them behind my computer. That's where I started for quite a while. Couldn't figure out how to get the darn thing off. Do a little bit of homework. I find, hey, it's got 2 springs on this side. To pull it over, in theory, that's supposed to be enough to get that one free, pop it off. Whoever manufactured these screens did it with incredible, slightly over tolerance, I guess, because I couldn't get the springs to compress quite enough to pop those things free conveniently. So I had to do quite a bit of careful manhandling so I didn't damage the actual frames. I was hoping the one behind my computer monitor was going to be a one-off, just a fluke, because one of the springs was a little screwy. I get over here to do this one thinking it's going to be a breeze to pop open. Nope, just as difficult. The only thing that made it a little easier is my previous experience from the first one. But all in all, I accomplished my goal. I can keep my blinds up pretty much 24/7 now, which is nice because I get great daylight through the frosted film, and I can see out just fine in the daytime. It's not quite as easy to see out at night because there's not a whole lot of light out here, but nor can people really see in. And I got these cool LED lights I set up. I used to have one in this corner and one in the opposite corner over here in the corner behind my desk, but that interfered with desk placement a little bit to where it shoved the desk out just far enough I couldn't open those drawers enough. So you know what? I'm going to come over here and I'm going to straddle this window with this. These are primarily, I don't want to call them night lights, but when I come home after dark, it's nice to have a little bit of light inside climbing into. So I keep them set in that mode. These lights have an app, so you can make all kinds of effects or whatever. But the best thing about it is you can set a timer 7 days a week when it comes on, when it comes off. So like 5 to 10 o'clock every night of the week, they come on. They allow great ambient lighting. I need to figure out exactly how to figure a way to get these things positioned a little more straight, so forth and so on. They're a little bit angled. They a little L-shaped base comes out here along the wall and then comes out this way a little bit by the couch. So they're pretty stable, but this is an RV, so they don't sit quite on the floor as well as I'd like. So I need to figure out a way to make them more stationary. While I was at it, let me see here. Turn a little bit of light here. Oop. My console table, because of how narrow it is, I was having some issues. I got, of course, the light here. I didn't have the light here. I sit on the couch, it pushes it a little bit, it wobbles a little bit, hitting the wall a little bit, wasn't very stable. So I cut some spacers here, one on each end, dressed them up a little bit, put a little felt pad on the end, scuffed the console table, glued them in place, one in the middle, one on each side to hold that stable. Ain't going anywhere now. I can sit against the couch and it might make contact, but no worries. My other little toy there. This is fun. Old school handset receiver. You plug that into your cell phone. I don't like holding my phone against my ear when I'm talking on it, so my earbuds I was using. I found that online. I thought it'd be a fun little gimmick. Lastly, the window behind my entertainment center. I went ahead and did that one also in the anti-glare. I get the morning sun comes through that window. And as previously discussed, I didn't want the back of the entertainment center from that height of things to be visible from the outside. It looked pretty bad. So there's a little picture for you to see what the outside looks like in the dark, or I should say in the daytime without any light inside. So now, only at night when I have my lights on, this area here is visible from outside. I can live with that. That's not a big deal at all. And it gives me, when things are clean, I can look out and get a good view of the outside world. The only thing left I have to decide is if I want to tint this window. I'd like to try of replacing it with tinted glass, because that morning sun also bakes through there, and I don't want that cooking the artwork, the inserts, my spines there for my movies. I was looking at it, and unfortunately, there's one side of that glass is smooth, and the other one side is rough. The smooth side is outside, sadly, because that's where the film would bond the best. I don't know if it'll stick to the rough side. So I considered popping the frame out and flipping the glass, which ordinarily would be an easy thing, but the previous owners of this RV decided to be a little silicone happy, let's put it. I don't know how easy that glass is going to be removed from that frame to flip it around, so we'll see. I have some left over. I might still make the attempt. If it doesn't work, I can save it and then try to flip the glass later on and still reinstall that same piece of film. So that is where we're at. Thank you once again for checking this out. This really wasn't worth recording. This was a few days worth of labor here and there after work, days off, plugging away at it. Not something that really needs to be seen, I don't think. Yeah, it's like watching a monkey play with a banana, maybe. Try to watch me slap the film on. Like that, all the vinyl stuff went on really well. It was the frosted stuff that gave me the trouble. So frustrating, tedious, monotonous. But that part's done. I still have windows in the bedroom I'm looking at, figuring out exactly how I want to do that. We'll approach that subject at a later time. I don't know. What do you think? Did I accomplish something worthwhile here? Is this decent? Should I be bothering with replacement? This top corner is not sticking too well, so blurry. I might be forced at some point to remove that and reapply it. I tried peeling just last night, I think it was. That top corner, I peeled it and reapplied the solution, but the adhesive apparently is just shot on it. And I guess there's some kind of film removal solution that you can put on to help peel the whole thing off, clean the window, and start anew. So what do you think? Should I be bothered? If I do, it would be the only one I do, because the others are just not bad enough. Overall, I am happy with the effect, just not 100% happy with the craftsmanship, if you will, right? So anyway, questions, comments, the word box below. Make use of it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming on the journey. Always appreciate it. We're making progress. All this is starting to come along and get set up. While I was at this, clamp mount desk lamp, as well as a clamp mount monitor stand as well. So I got that up off there. All those movies and mountains and piles that you were seeing, cataloged, documented, and shelved. And speaking of which, stay tuned for my next media shelf build installation. I got a moment of inspiration that took me down a rabbit hole. I went shopping, I went hunting, and I found something that I think might just work out nice. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to make like a tree and get out of here.
Alan.